Every time you feel that inner nudge to pause, reflect, and feed your spirit, yet you scroll past it, the unseen realm takes notice. Heaven waits for your attention, but so does darkness. The devil smiles, not because he has won something powerful, but because you surrendered something eternal for something temporary. Every skipped moment with God is not just silence. It is stolen strength, stolen clarity, stolen destiny. And today, the Spirit whispers, do not miss this moment. For what you hear right now could be the word that breaks your chains, restores your fire, and places you back into alignment with divine purpose. The human soul was never designed to live on noise alone. Every distraction is a seed that pulls your heart away from what matters most. There is a reason why battles come strongest at the moment of your greatest awakening. There is a reason your phone buzzes, your thoughts scatter, your emotions feel heavy right when you should be listening. Because the enemy knows, if you catch this truth, you will rise. If you embrace this wisdom, you will step into strength that cannot be shaken. That is why the devil smiles when you skip moments like this. He celebrates because he knows you are delaying the very power that was meant to break his grip off your life. The greatest warfare is not outside of you. It is within. It is the battle between urgency and eternal significance. When your soul craves light, but your flesh runs to shadows, you are in the middle of war. Yet every time you choose stillness, every time you listen, every time you pause and let truth enter you, you silence the laughter of darkness. You replace the devil's smile with the roar of heaven. Many live unaware that the simplest choices carry eternal consequences. Every choice to listen, every choice to turn inward, every choice to detach from noise is a declaration of who you belong to. You are not weak because you feel pulled. You are tested because you are valuable. Darkness does not invest energy in those who carry nothing. The constant distractions that chase you are proof that there is treasure in you that hell is terrified of. To detach emotionally and spiritually is not indifference. It is mastery. It is the revelation that your spirit was never designed to bow to every storm, to react to every voice, to be chained to every opinion. Detachment is not the absence of love. It is the presence of divine alignment. It is standing in storms without becoming the storm. It is walking through fire without losing your flame. It is seeing betrayal, loss, and rejection, yet not letting them define your worth. This is why the enemy wants you distracted, because if you learn to detach from what does not serve your spirit, you will walk in a confidence that hell cannot touch. There is a secret to spiritual strength that few embrace. It is not found in fighting every voice, proving every point, or chasing validation. It is found in stillness. It is found in the quiet place where you realize nothing around you determines who you are. That is where your authority grows. The devil's smile fades every time you refuse to be moved by temporary noise. The enemy loses grip every time you look at what tried to shake you and say, "This cannot define me. I am rooted in something deeper." The confidence is not the loud declaration of your power. It is the calm assurance of divine presence. Purpose is not the restless chase for recognition. It is the silent knowing that heaven backs you. Strength is not the absence of weakness. It is the refusal to let weakness control your decisions. Detachment is the art of living free from chains that others still call jewelry. It is the courage to let go of what no longer aligns with your destiny. When you live attached to everything, you become a puppet of circumstance. When you live detached in spirit, you become a vessel of eternity. This is why you must guard your soul. Every skipped moment of feeding your spirit is a step deeper into emptiness. The devil does not need to destroy you violently. He only needs to keep you distracted long enough that you forget who you are. But today, the call is rising. Return to your center. Return to the place where silence speaks louder than chaos. Return to the place where detachment births unshakable strength. Your emotions are powerful, but they are not meant to be your master. Feel them, but do not worship them. Experience them, but do not build your identity on them. For emotions change with the wind, but purpose remains eternal. When you detach from the need to be understood, the need to be approved, the need to be constantly entertained, you become untouchable. And the enemy loses his smile because he realizes he can no longer control you with temporary illusions. Some of you have been tested with rejection, abandoned by those you trusted, left alone in seasons where you thought support would be there. But hear this: every loss was not punishment, it was preparation. Every separation was not cruelty, it was divine surgery. You were being taught the power of detachment. To detach is to see people, blessings, and even pain through the lens of eternity. It is knowing you can love deeply, but never idolize. You can enjoy blessings, but never cling to them. You can endure storms, but never let them drown you. That is true freedom. The reason you feel restless is because your soul knows you were created for more than the shallow waters of distraction. The reason you cannot settle is because destiny is pulling you into deeper places where casual attention is not enough. Your calling demands focus. Your spirit demands feeding. Your future demands separation from anything that weakens your fire. When the devil smiles at your distractions, it is because he knows you are inches away from breakthrough. He knows if you feed your spirit, the chains will break. He knows if you detach from the noise, you will walk in clarity. He knows if you root yourself in God's presence, you will become unstoppable. That is why he fights you most in moments like these. But here is the truth. You are stronger than every distraction, deeper than every storm, and chosen for more than what has tried to hold you down. Listen closely. Detachment does not mean isolation. It means elevation. It means you rise above what once consumed you. It means you stop giving energy to voices that were never meant to shape you. It means you live from the inside out, not the outside in. This is where your true power lies. The greatest sign of strength is not how much you hold on to, but how much you can release without losing yourself. Let go of what drains you. Let go of what delays you. Let go of the false attachments that keep you repeating the same cycles. You are not defined by what walked away. You are defined by the one who called you. You are not weakened by what you lost. You are strengthened by what you carry. And that strength grows every time you choose to silence distraction and embrace divine truth. The devil's smile fades when you realize that your worth was never in the approval of others, your joy was never in material gain, and your peace was never in circumstances. Your worth is eternal, your joy is unshakable, and your peace is divine. Detachment awakens this reality. When you live detached, you become untouchable by the schemes of darkness. Right now, as you hear these words, your spirit is awakening. Something inside you is breaking free from chains you didn't even realize were binding you. You are being called into a deeper dimension of strength, where peace is not borrowed from circumstances, but flows from the eternal within you. And as you step into this truth, every smile of the enemy will fade, replaced by the fear of your awakening. For nothing terrifies darkness more than a soul who refuses to be moved by temporary illusions and walks fully in divine purpose. The weight you feel is not always your own. Many of the battles pressing against your mind are assignments designed to keep you distracted, to make you too tired to feed your spirit, too weary to rise, too overwhelmed to detach. But the secret of the chosen is this: they know how to rise even when the weight is heavy. They know how to pause in the middle of storms and breathe in eternal strength. They know that every distraction is an invitation to go deeper. Every temptation to skip is a doorway to greater awakening. This is why the devil smiles when you pass by these moments, because he knows the doorway closes a little more every time you ignore it. Yet, heaven rejoices when you pause, listen, and allow your soul to be nourished. Emotional detachment is not suppression, it is transformation. It is not denying what you feel, it is mastering what you feel. It is letting the river of pain flow through without drowning in it. It is letting joy overflow without clinging to it. It is standing in the middle of change and saying, I am steady. This steadiness is your shield. This steadiness is your power. And the devil despises it, because he cannot manipulate a steady soul. Consider this: when you detach from fear, you begin to see possibility. When you detach from anger, you begin to see clarity. When you detach from constant comparison, you begin to see your own uniqueness. This is why detachment is the language of freedom. For as long as your worth is tied to temporary things, you will be shaken. But when your worth is rooted in eternity, you cannot be moved. The call on your life requires discipline of soul. You cannot carry destiny with a spirit bound by every opinion. You cannot walk in divine authority while enslaved by emotions. You must learn the art of inner silence, the practice of resting in presence, the discipline of listening when the world screams for attention. Each time you choose silence over noise, wisdom over reaction, stillness over chaos, you declare that you belong to eternity. You are not here by accident. The very fact that you are listening in this moment is proof that eternity is drawing you. The distractions around you are not coincidences. They are assignments. The fatigue you feel when you want to pray, the boredom you feel when truth is spoken, the urge to scroll away when revelation is near. These are not random. They are strategies. And every time you resist them, you weaken their hold. Every time you stay present, you strengthen your spirit. Every time you detach from distraction, you rise in authority. To detach emotionally is to stop negotiating with your destiny. It is to say, I no longer give my peace to what is temporary. To detach spiritually is to anchor yourself so deeply that storms may rage, but they cannot uproot you. It is to carry peace in the middle of chaos, joy in the middle of loss, clarity in the middle of confusion. And when you carry this, you carry what no darkness can counterfeit. The devil does not fear noise, he fears silence. He does not fear your activity, he fears your alignment. He does not tremble when you chase the world, he trembles when you detach from it. Because a detached soul is a dangerous soul. A detached soul is free to obey without fear, to love without chains, to walk without hesitation. A detached soul cannot be bought, cannot be broken, cannot be bribed. That is who you are being called to become. There will be moments when detachment feels like loss. When you let go of certain relationships, habits, or desires, it will feel as though you are cutting off a part of yourself. But in truth, you are pruning what no longer bears fruit. You are shedding weight so you can rise higher. You are releasing what hinders so you can embrace what heals. This is not loss, it is refinement. And every refinement terrifies the enemy because he knows a lighter soul flies higher. Think of the times you felt broken, left behind, unseen. Those were the very seasons where detachment was being formed in you. You were being taught to lean not on others, but on eternity. You were being taught to trust not in circumstances, but in unseen strength. You were being taught to detach from shallow waters so you could swim in deeper currents. And though it hurt, it shaped you. Though it broke you, it built you. Though it emptied you, it prepared you to be filled with what cannot be taken. When you choose to detach, you reclaim your power. You stop reacting to every word spoken about you. You stop chasing every fleeting desire. You stop being a slave to moods and begin to live by truth. And when this happens, the devil's smile fades because he realizes you are no longer his puppet. He can no longer pull your strings with emotions, distractions, or lies. You become sovereign within, unshaken, anchored. The call of destiny is always costly. To detach means you will be misunderstood. To detach means some will call you cold, distant, or arrogant. But what they cannot see is that you are preserving your soul. You are choosing purpose over performance, truth over popularity, eternity over applause. This is the secret walk of the chosen. You will often look strange to the world, because the world cannot understand detachment. The world thrives on attachment, on grasping, on clutching. But you are not of the world, you are called to be free. Freedom is not doing everything you want. It is being unshaken by what you don't get. Freedom is not the abundance of choices, it is the absence of chains. Freedom is not chasing every desire, it is mastering desire itself, and detachment is the key to this freedom. For only a detached soul can truly walk in peace. Pause and feel this truth. Your destiny cannot be stolen, but it can be delayed. Every skipped moment of feeding your soul, every ignored whisper of truth, every surrender to distraction adds weight to your journey. But the opposite is also true. Every moment you choose stillness, every time you detach from noise, every choice to listen and align accelerates your path. The devil knows this. That is why he smiles when you skip. That is why he resists your stillness. Because he fears the speed with which your destiny unfolds when you are aligned. Your confidence must no longer come from applause, but from presence. Your joy must no longer come from circumstances, but from eternity. Your peace must no longer come from control, but from surrender. And when you walk in this, you will see how unstoppable you are. For a detached soul is a soul on fire, unburdened, undistracted, untouchable. There is a reason heaven calls you higher. There is a reason the whisper never leaves, even when you ignore it. Your spirit was designed for depth, but the world trains you for shallowness. Every advertisement, every distraction, every pressure is meant to keep you tied to the surface. Yet the deep within you is restless, crying out for silence, for detachment, for eternal anchoring. This is why you often feel out of place when you live like everyone else. Because you were never meant to be like everyone else. You were chosen to see, chosen to hear, chosen to rise, and the rising requires detachment. The enemy knows this. He does not fight you over what is worthless. He fights you over what is eternal. His smile is not for meaningless moments. It is for the stolen seeds of destiny. Every time you skip your soul's nourishment, he celebrates because he knows a hungry soul is a weak soul, and a weak soul can be manipulated. But the moment you turn inward, the moment you detach, the moment you listen and feed on truth, his laughter fades and his grip weakens. The detachment is not absence. It is alignment. It is the conscious decision to no longer allow the external to rule the internal. It is the power to see storms without losing peace, to face loss without losing hope, to endure betrayal without losing identity. This is not coldness. This is clarity. And clarity is what empowers you to walk through life with strength others cannot comprehend. Some of you have wondered why people left, why doors closed, why opportunities slipped away. What you saw as rejection was in fact divine detachment. You were being released from what would have drained you. You were being freed from what would have delayed you. You were being pulled away from what looked like blessing, but was actually bondage. Every ending was not abandonment, it was redirection. Every loss was not weakness, it was protection. You were being trained in the art of detachment. The beauty of detachment is that it teaches you how to love without losing yourself. You can give deeply, serve faithfully, pour out abundantly, yet never become enslaved by approval or validation. You can love people but not be controlled by them. You can hold blessings but not be possessed by them. You can experience pain but not be destroyed by it. That is the freedom detachment gives, and that freedom terrifies darkness, because it makes you ungovernable by anything temporary. When you learn detachment, you stop giving the enemy easy access. He can no longer use your emotions to drag you down. He can no longer use your fears to cage you. He can no longer use your attachments to manipulate your direction. You become a vessel of truth, walking through fire but not burned, standing in storms but not shaken, carrying wounds but still rising. This is the hidden strength of the chosen. Remember this. True strength is not proven in how tightly you hold on, but in how gracefully you can release. Detachment is not weakness, it is evidence of faith. It says, I trust the unseen more than the visible. I trust eternity more than the temporary. I trust the divine plan more than my own grasp. This trust is what makes you powerful. And when you live this way, every smile of the enemy fades into trembling, because he realizes you are no longer in his reach. You were not created to be a slave to your emotions. You were created to govern them. Emotions are servants, not masters. They were given to express, not to enslave. The problem arises when you let them define your worth, your choices, your identity. Detachment restores the order. It places emotions back in their place, tools, not rulers. You are the one who decides, not your fear, not your anger, not your loneliness. And when you reclaim this authority, the chains break. Every distraction you overcome strengthens your roots. Every moment you choose stillness builds your foundation. Every time you detach from noise, you sharpen your clarity. This is the hidden training of destiny. It is not glamorous, but it is powerful. While the world chases noise, you are called to guard silence. While others cling to everything, you are called to let go of what is not eternal. While others live bound, you are called to live free. The devil smiles when you skip, because he knows you are postponing transformation. But the moment you resist, the moment you listen, the moment you receive, his smile breaks into fear, because he knows you are awakening to your true power. He knows you are stepping into alignment where his grip has no authority. He knows you are remembering who you are. You are not just a body walking through earth. You are a soul carrying eternity. You are not defined by the storms you pass through. You are defined by the purpose you carry. And that purpose cannot be silenced when you live detached. This is why you are tested so heavily. This is why distractions come so strongly, because what you carry is dangerous to darkness. And the more you feed your spirit, the more unstoppable you become. Detachment is the shield that guards your destiny. It is the anchor that keeps you steady. It is the sword that cuts through illusion. Without it, you will be tossed by every wave, shaken by every opinion, crushed by every loss. With it, you stand like a mountain, unshaken, unmovable, unbreakable. This is the calling of the chosen, not to escape storms, but to stand unshaken within them. There is a sacred strength that only comes when you detach. It is not loud, but it is unshakable. It is not visible, but it is undeniable. It is the strength that makes you peaceful in chaos, joyful in loss, confident in uncertainty. It is the strength that makes others wonder how you still stand when everything around you has fallen. That is the gift of detachment. And that is why the devil fears it so much. The world will try to convince you that attachment is love, that grasping is security, that control is safety. But truth reveals the opposite. True love flows freely, unbound by fear. True security rests in letting go, not in clutching. True safety is found in surrender, not in control. Detachment is not coldness. It is freedom to love purely, to live deeply, to trust fully. Every time you detach, you reclaim a piece of yourself. You reclaim your mind from worry, your heart from fear, your soul from distraction. You take back what was stolen. You rise into who you were meant to be. And as you rise, heaven rejoices, but darkness trembles, because nothing shakes hell more than a soul who no longer bows to its illusions. You have been chosen for depth. You have been called to clarity. You have been marked for freedom. This is why you feel the pull to detach. This is why you feel the resistance when you try. Because the moment you succeed, you step into a realm of authority the enemy cannot counterfeit. You become a force of peace, a vessel of purpose, a light in darkness. And once you walk in this, you cannot be stopped. So listen closely. This moment is not casual. These words are not random. This is eternity pulling you back into alignment. Do not skip this. Do not scroll away. Do not let distractions steal this seed. Because what you receive right now will shape who you become tomorrow. This is the moment where the devil's smile turns to fear. This is the moment where your soul awakens. This is the moment where detachment becomes your power.